getting rid of the clutter with the Royal Shredder. And this shredder actually works in a couple of different ways. We have two different ways to shred with this Royal Shredder. Our item number is E237066. It's the Royal 10-sheet micro cut shredder that actually has a 110-sheet auto feed tray on the back. So when you want to get rid of the clutter in your life, this is a machine that can get it done. And we're going to show you colors as we get started off here. So we're going to start with our classic black. That's what I have in front of me. And I believe we're going to go to our .com site to show you the variety of colors we have in addition to black. So we have black. We also have it available for you. Charcoal. Oh, sorry. Our next color up is going to be the charcoal. After charcoal is going to be dusty pink. And lastly, we have our navy for you. So our item number, E237066, our regular QVC price for this Royal Shredder, and we've been bringing Royal shredders here at QVC for years. Our regular QVC price, pretty much the regular price we get for most shredders we bring in, $119. We have this available for you today at a clearance price of $79.98. So it's a clearance price of $79.98 on one of the most advanced shredders we've ever brought here to QVC. So I touched on the beginning. You have two different ways to shred with this machine. The first way is going to be this top slot right here. That's going to be for your everyday shredding. And I recommend you keep your shredder wherever you're going to be emptying your mail every single day. So when you're opening up all that junk mail, you're saying, what am I going to do with this? Great spot is the shredder. And this top slot here will take 10 pages at a time. It'll blast through credit cards and some of those old store loyalty cards that you have as well. It's even going to work when you have stapled pieces of paper together. So I can crunch in a whole bunch of staples here and put it through that top slot, and it just gets pulled right through the machine. Nice and simple, nice and easy. But let's say there's times when you want to clean out the filing cabinet. Let's say it's fall. You know what? We've gotten everyone back to school. We're done with our summer routine. Time to clean up the house and time to get rid of that big pile of paper you've been sticking on the corner of the desk, or that big pile of paper that's been sitting on the corner of the kitchen counter that you said, hey, one day I'm going to get rid of all that stuff. I just don't want to do it now. Take a look at what this Royal Shredder can do. When I open up this flap right here on the back, I can actually take up to 110 sheets of paper, put it in the auto feed tray, and the Royal Shredder is going to do the rest. It's going to pull piece of paper by piece of paper, one after the other, through the shredder here, and you can see what's happening to every piece of paper. And when you fill up that auto feed tray, you can sit back, relax, do whatever. The machine is going to do all the work for you and make your life easy. Now, if you took a look at the history of shredding over the years, when shredders first came out back in the 1970s or 80s, that's when we really saw people having shredders inside of their home. There was something that was called strip cut. And basically we looked at a piece of paper like this and we cut straight lines. It basically looked like long strands of spaghetti. And you would throw that into a bin. And you always watch those movies where they put the strands of spaghetti back together again and they could see what was on the page. Well, the next evolution was something that's called cross-cut, cutting in multiple different directions on the same piece of paper. That was better, and that's still a method that a lot of shredder companies do, but you could still get that information off of the screen. And the whole reason we're using a shredder is because we don't want to share our personal, our financial, our medical information with the world. Just like we have protection when we're on the internet, we have protection with the personal information that we have. And that cross-cut shredder, better than the strip cut, but doesn't really pulverize the information. This shredder from Royal is something that's called micro cut. So every individual piece of paper like this, an old tax form that you may have, old credit card statements, old basically medical forms that you may have, every piece of paper that goes through this shredder gets absolutely pulverized and turned into over 1,100 pieces. So as I pop out the 4.5-gallon bin, that's what we have left right there. See all those little pieces of paper, all those little shards? Think about the last time you did a 1,000-piece puzzle and how many days that took you and the family to put together. Well, every piece of paper that goes through here, here's an 1,100-piece puzzle. Oh, by the way, here's another 1,100-piece puzzle. So we're talking about dozens upon dozens of individual pieces of paper that are getting pulverized into 1,100 pieces. So now when you empty this bin and you throw it out at the trash, whatever trash night is in your community, nobody is going to put that back together again. And that gives you that peace of mind that, you know what? My information is now gone. No dumpster diver is going to get my social security number. No dumpster diver is going to get my medical info about my credit card, info about my retirement accounts that I may have, my 401ks, my IRAs. You don't want to share it with the world? This is a great way to get rid of it. And Royal is a company that's been around since 1904. They are industry leaders when we talk about office machines, and especially when it comes down to shredders. So our item number, again, E237066. It's the Royal 10-sheet micro cut shredder with the 110-sheet Autofeed tray in the back. Regular QVC price, $119. We have this available on a clearance as long as we have these shredders around, and these shredders typically go pretty quick here at QVC. Our clearance price, under $80 at $79.98. That's $40 off our regular QVC price for a machine from one of the big industry leaders when it comes to office equipment. So let's take a look at our colors that we have for you. I've been demonstrating on the classic black, which is great. It's going to blend in with anything, it's going to work with any decor you may have in your house. But we also have a few more colors for you. So let's take a look. So in addition to the black, we have the brick red. Next up is going to be charcoal, followed by dusty pink. That's not a regular pink, that's a dusty. And lastly, we're going to have it for you in the navy. Again, the Royal 10-sheet micro cut shredder, E237066. Now, as I mentioned, we've been bringing Royal shredders to QVC for a long time. As a matter of fact, Royal has been coming to QVC for over 30 years with their great products, especially the shredders. This one, they did a little something different that I want to showcase for you. One of the neat features that they have is I pop the bin out, the 4.5-gallon bin. One of the challenges that people typically have with shredders is, okay, I pulverized all my information. I shredded those documents. I shredded taxes from 10 years ago. Now, how do I clean up and get rid of it? A lot of machines, you have to physically take the top off of the machine. A lot of others, they still have this capability to pop out a bin. But when you pop out the bin, oftentimes you have to turn it upside down to throw it into the trash can. And what happens then, right? I know we all like to think that we're perfect, but we're not. And then all of a sudden you have confetti all over your office, or confetti all over your family room or your living room, wherever you keep your shredder. This shredder has a really cool new feature. It's a bottom drop bin. So when I press this button on the back and pull the trigger, the bottom will actually drop out of the bin. And basically all you have to do is hold this over a trash can, press the button, pull the trigger, and that bottom will drop out. And it makes it so much easier for you to clean up when you're done. You eliminate that opportunity for the mess. So you never have to turn the bin over, never have to take the top off of the machine, press the button, pull the trigger, the bottom drops out, and it makes your life so much easier. That's why people love this brand. We talk about office machine brands. Royal, again, they've been around since 1904 with this shredder. So if you're just joining us, just to recap, we've got an amazing shredder from a state-of-the-art brand, Royal, that actually gives you two different ways to micro-cut all that important information. So anything you don't want to share with the world, anything you don't want to share with the neighbors, anything you don't want to share with the bad guys, like your medical records, like that's another medical record one, like your junk mail, like your financial information. Unfortunately, what a lot of us do, we open up our mail or we open up the old filing cabinet and we say, hey, it's time to get rid of this. And what do? We do this, right? We tear a piece of paper in half or we roll it up into a ball. Makes us feel better. This does nothing to hide your identity. When the dumpster divers go out there and they look for your personal information, they can easily open that up. They can take that two pieces of paper, put it together as one. That's not really a difficult puzzle to put back together. When you use this Royal Micro Cut Shredder, that orange piece of paper going through right now, that is now turned into 1,100 pieces. This neon green piece of paper, that's another 1,100 pieces. The bright yellow piece of paper, 1,100 pieces. Old tax forms, 1,100 piece, 1,100 piece, 1,100 piece. So now when you empty this bin, you put it out there at the curb on trash night, nobody's going to be able to put that together again, and your personal information is going to remain safe. On this top slot as well, I want to remind everybody, this is also going to be able to blast through staples. So if you do have some old tax forms that are stapled together, up to 10 pages at a time, they go right through. How about old credit cards or an old driver's license or an old store loyalty card that you may have still sitting in your wallet, right? Those cards, because of the strip on the back, or if there's a code on the back that can be scanned, a BR code or a barcode rather, that information is on that card. They can zap that, they can scan that, they can still get that information off. When you put it through the shredder, the cards get pulverized as well. And here's another one that I've been using a lot, quite a bit lately. Since the beginning of all of our time at home, most of us don't go to the bank as often as we used to. If somebody actually gives us a check, what's an easy way to deposit it? You scan it with your phone and deposit it directly. What do you do with those checks once they've cleared the account? Here's a check right here that has a name, an address, also has the account number on here, also has the routing information on here. This is the kind of stuff that bad guys would love to get their hands on so that they could easily all of a sudden, hold on a second, now I know who lives here, I know their bank account number, I know the routing number for their check. Just because you did something as simple as this and threw it in the trash can. That's not the efficient way to get it through. Again, even those little pieces of checks, they'll go right through the cell, and they just get pulverized in the Royal Micro Cut Shredder. So just a reminder, our item number, E237066. It's the Royal 10-sheet Micro Cut Shredder. Royal, a company that's been around since 1904. We have $40 off the QVC price of $79.98. Our colors are black. We also have red. We have chalk, dusty pink. And lastly, we have it available for you in navy at 237066. And now we've got one of the coolest hoses I have ever seen. If you're tired of all the kinks in your hoses when you're trying to water the garden, we've got a solution for you coming up next. Take it away, Jack.
Thanks, Craig. Glad to be here. I love the shredder, by the way.